you have personal ties to Iran as well. I'm going to ask you maybe two questions in one. So the first question is, how has that impacted your family on a personal level? And secondly, from your point of view, how have you been advocating for Iranian women using your platform? And maybe even talk about some of the pressures you have, perhaps from the Iranian community, balancing as well the fact of your main platform and main business, and also taking care of community, which I know is so important to you. Oh, you're on mute.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. It's really an honor to be here. And, it's funny, I hear the two of you speak about how you were born in Iran, and I feel envy because I never really got to experience Iran. My family has lived there my entire life. My parents came to the US just for their education. Just so happened the revolution happened. So I was supposed to live in Iran, and I lived there for a year when I was like 3 and 4. And it's wild because I have a lot of memories, but my whole life, my entire extended family lived in Iran. And this was before FaceTime, before internet. So we were never able to speak. I spoke to them maybe twice a year. And I never got to see my grandmother's house, or all of my cousins were always together. And I really wished it really wasn't until what's been happening the last few months that I was like, just so grateful that I was born in America and that I have these opportunities. I'm seeing all of my family actually try to move to Canada, and they're all working on their visas, and then they're there and they still don't have a working visa. And it's just so difficult and they love Iran. Even some of my cousins and family never wanted to leave. It's such a beautiful culture and place to live, but it's that bad that they have no other choice. So I have a very strong soul connection to Iran, and it's still my dream that one day maybe I can go spend a month there and just travel and see everything. My parents tell me all the time about how they used to sleep on the roofs, I guess, in the summer, and all the roofs were, it just sounds magical. So it's hard. I have a really strong connection, but unfortunately haven't been able to spend time there. And my family, I do still have family there, and it's terrifying. My grandparents are in their 80s, and they turn their lights off at 9 p.m. because they said a lot of the protesters will come, or the police will come raid your house during all the protests. They're afraid. So, that's really difficult. I was never a political person. I went to pharmacy school, and I don't like to speak on things that I don't feel competent in. So I've never been loud about politics, especially my social media platform is my business, and it's where I share inspirational health and wellness content. But when all of this happened with Mahsa Amini, I felt called to. I felt like I had to. It was my responsibility. It felt so inappropriate to post anything else at that time. So there was, I would say, a 6-week period where there was nothing else I was posting, and I was sharing content on Iran. And there's so many times that I'm like, do people even care? Because the people that are following me aren't for this. But I was just so surprised. So many people came up to me, close friends of mine. They had no idea that Iran was different 40 years ago. They had no idea. They were like, oh my God, I didn't even know there was a revolution. I didn't even know that. I was like, yeah, when my parents lived there, this isn't the Iran. This isn't the Iran that my parents grew up in. And it's not the people. And I, even just aside from what's going on right now, I really like to share my family dancing and enjoying life and singing and just having fun, because it's such a big part of our culture. And I think what you see on TV just doesn't show that. So I really did like sharing and being a voice. Of course, I will say it's unfortunate. Sometimes the people that are fighting for the same thing end up turning on each other because everyone's in so much pain. And, I think there was one time where I posted something that wasn't Iran related, and I didn't know what was happening. There was something that had just happened in the news, and I was traveling abroad, and I just got so attacked, unfollow. I can't believe you would you're so shameful. And it's I think that if we all work together, it would definitely make it more, more impactful. But I do know that everyone has a voice, and sharing really does make a difference. And even just bringing Iran to people's awareness. I always said, I feel like Iran's kind of been the forgotten country. Like you go places and it's never on the list. There's never Farsi. It's like Arabic, but Farsi's always forgotten. So even when I see it anywhere, it's just I get excited and it's sad. So I hope to bring more awareness.
I love that, Mona. And your voice is actually a really important one. And I think the opportunity to speak to those who aren't necessarily paying attention politically is really important,
Mhm.
as well as your skills in communicating really, really effectively and very simply on social media, are extremely valuable in this kind of scenario. So we thank you for that. I wanted